Hi, everyone. I wanted to thank you all because a while ago I told you you got to make a choice, right? You got to choose whether you are going to lean into darkness or into light. And I want to thank you for the choice that you made because in the end, it's all going to be worked out by the universe. It's all already being worked out by the universe. The universe is automatically striving for the highest good based on every choice by combining all scenarios, right? So it's always going to be the best, option which is going to come out of that. But I really hope that you realize that the choices you make determine the seeds that you sow, and that determines what you reap, not only for yourself, but that's how other people who share your surroundings, your family life, maybe your work life, it could even be your community or whatever, they will share in reaping what has been sowed, because some things are only going to be noticeable for you and other things might be noticeable for more people. So the most important thing, which I hope that people will realize, is the choices have been made and the seeds have been sown. Unfortunately for me, there's a massive buy-in into sowing dark seeds. So that is the choice which has been made, whether it's active or being inactive, because not choosing is also choosing. But so everything has its consequence. So I hope that one day you will really understand how life, everything we have, is co-created by our own individuals' choices mixed together. It's not he did it, she did it, I didn't, and he did it. It's not like that. It's our own choices. It's what we allow, is what we buy into. Now, especially this weekend, which is coming, is an important one for me because tomorrow is the day that we remember the people who were oppressed, who died from the Second World War and the First World War. And then for me, it's even more than that. It goes way back to all those people, I got to think about it. So I'm going to really meditate on it. I'm really going to think about it, about their situation, and how it's possible that, like, years later, we are still rehashing the same stuff, the same things, the very same. There's a part of energy which is just not evolving, and that part is a stagnant something. It's really stagnant, and it's there, and it causes energy to be rehashing itself in a very, in my opinion, detrimental way. So this, but I truly believe that it all serves a purpose, because everyone has the right to learn in their own time, to realize and become aware in their own time. Because this awareness, this achieving a certain level of consciousness, is something that you cannot force everyone to become conscious in the same way, in the same time frame, in the same speed. So it just doesn't work that way. The most important thing is that all choices have been made, and the seeds have been sowed. That's the most important thing. That's what people need to be aware of. Oh, okay. So my seed, everyone's seed has been sown, and the reaping has already begun. So that's going to continue. So we're going to get everything that we have sown, that what we chose for, actively, inactively, that is what is going to be reaped. That's going to be worked out and it's going to be reaped. That is what we will all reap. So, this is a very important thing to be aware of, because for me, the massive buy-in into sowing dark seeds is very detrimental for the light. The consequences are really grave. But at least the good thing for everyone, including me, including everyone who is in the light or in the dark or the universe or on which side, is that it's clear. It is clear. It is clear as day what seeds have been sown. And because it also reveals, it also shows where we stand, because if you want to move forward from a certain place or a certain state or situation, you need to know where you stand, because to change something you need to know what needs to change, right? So then you need to know where you stand. So part of this whole exercise was the question, where do we stand? And yes, by determining where we stand, now we know that, but that has consequences, pulling on those threads, it has consequences. So a lot of dark things have been done, and these dark things, the seeds which have been sown, have really supported, empowered this whole systematic of darkness. And I'm talking about darkness, but of course, as you can imagine this, it consists of different aspects, different parts, which were working on either creating loss, creating misery, creating debt, creating all kinds of those are the dark seeds which were sown. By accepting that, by really willingly working with it, by co-creating, that's how you co-create that darkness, and you allow it to exist. And by allowing it to exist in that way, it is empowered. And now I also, because this is a whole funny thing, when I already started to think about this, this coming weekend, and how those people would have felt, while things were also like developing in their own communities, in their own surroundings. And a lot of things, for me at least, they came back, how their things were removed from them, their possessions were removed from them. First it started like that, and then you maybe think, you lose, somebody takes your possession, takes your car, takes something that you have, okay, but then it doesn't stop there, it goes further and further and further. And that's how you see that that's what baffles me. How that same energy, in the same order, in my opinion, is still alive, and the whole thing is, it's still alive, it's still working, and it can only function through a real buy-in. Because without the buy-in, it cannot, get that far. So it really operates on a buy. That's how darkness mostly operates. It's not, really. When you see darkness, it's always like this whole buy-in and group thing, While everyone has their qualities in the light, so it's possible to use your light, and as an individual, release your purpose in life and show your uniqueness. And in that way bind, because it's not only about being, selfish or showing, I can do this. It's not about that, but it's about adding your uniqueness to a group, to this whole, community, to life as a whole, because that's what we're here to do. We have our light, we have our uniqueness, and we add it, we have it so that we can add that, so that we can add that, not from a selfish perspective, but, to blend in, right? So, but now that is all mistaken. So darkness needs to use, or maybe is lost about what is my purpose, and then needs this group thing to validate itself. I really don't know. I'm not really from the dark side, so I have to try and understand, how does it work? Why would you come in a group and would you do something horrible and to anyone? Why would you do that? So I really have to find the purpose in that, right? But anyway, there's a higher purpose to it, and that's why it is allowed. See, so that's why I have to accept even the things that I don't want to accept. I have to accept it. So, so that's why I have to give thanks for all seeds that have been sown, the bad ones, and just know that everything will work out for its higher, the best good. But know that while that is being taken place, while that is happening, that you really need to be mindful about the seeds you've sown, because they are really going to be playing out in your own life as well, because that is how this stuff works. And I can now really relate to the people who all those years ago who were also worried and thinking, oh, what is really going on? Is this something temporary, or is this something, indefinitely? And what does it really mean? What does it mean to my life? And what does it mean to our community? All those questions. And we know with hindsight what it meant, right? And the worrying thing for me is that in my situation, I have the feeling that I am walking in their shoes, right? The same sort of events happening and transpiring and taking place. So, but okay, my advantage is that I have some, I have their history, I have my ancestors' histories who were also in a state of oppression. So I am a little prepared, although I'm still taken aback that that this stuff, is real nowadays, and after all the things that happened, and too much has happened, which should not have, in my opinion, but it did, so I accepted, because everything which did, it was intended to. Because the choices we made, not because God says it had to be that way, but because of this, it was just the option. If people go left, we go left. That's because that is where we are. We are left goers as a group. Because that's how it works. That's the influence of the group on the whole, right? Okay. So don't be afraid and don't be scared. Just know that your seeds will come to a place of fruition, and they will, I think, present you with your own learning curve. So everyone will see, based on what they have sown, what will come back from that and what they will need to learn. But I thank you in any case. Thank you. For us, well, in short, things are not gonna fan out very well. This situation has resulted in a lot of loss, financial loss, loss of the house that we're in. Too much actually to really just spill out like this, and it's actually quite sad, because these are all things which are not necessary, right? They were not necessary. It didn't need to go that way, but because of the choices we made, it had to go that way. So yeah, that is where people are. So I just wanted to thank everyone for whatever buying they did, and at least the clarity which we have which I think everyone has now, about, well, maybe not everything, but in general, about things, where we stand, how we deal with things, and what the potential consequences still are today because of how we deal with things, right? So there's what it signals for me. I think maybe maybe on the highest level is that we need to remain open to, be honest, that we don't know everything, that we need other people, that we should not close ourselves off, that we should always remain open to learning, and not only to learning, but evaluating situations, and be like water, be like life wants us to be, and adjust ourselves when we see, oh, this is wrong, or we're not going the right way, or maybe we should check, are we going the right way? Be like life, adjust yourself to the circumstances, instead of just continuing like you're a ship that is deadlocked on this iceberg and we're gonna hit it, and we're gonna hit it hard. So, but those are choices. Those are choices we have. So we also need to see that it's never like a mandatory thing. It's a choice we have, and we need to understand that we have those choices, and we should make them, because not making them is also choosing, right? So there's a lot to learn, and I hope that everyone will at least take that. All right, that's it for now. Have a good start of this of this weekend, of course, which is a weekend which, for me at least, will involve, really thinking and giving some good thoughts about what really went wrong, all those times with people who were oppressed, and how I ended up in the same situation. And then if I look at, okay, let's say the last big, like that war situation, the Second World War, we're talking about, like, how many years ago is that? It's like 24, it's like nearly 70, is it 70 years? 45 it ended. En dat is 45, 55, 65, 75. It is more than 75 years ago. Well, people. But okay, that's for me to do. In any case, have a good weekend. And thank you again. Thank you. Thank you for all. Thank you.